some basics of Drupal, basically just how to set up and like kind of just add data into Drupal and just kind of get like the building blocks of your website going here. So just basically to like add like basically just like what I just like to think of like trash bins to your site. You just go on structures here and then you go on content types. And see I have all of these things here where like these things are pre-made, but then I have like buildings, courses, and students. So like these are the three things. These are like the three categories basically I like to think of, and you can like add things to each category. So like I can add a bunch of different fields about students, like name and student ID and like where they live maybe. But that's kind of creepy, so no addresses. And then same thing for these ones. So these are just kind of like the large overall like just like big like data fields where like these are the main content types. And so you could add one here. It's very simple to add one. You just type in the name of content type, whatever you want to make it. So let's say that I would like to just add, like um, dorms, and then you'd have dorms, and then you title it dorms. And you just save and manage it, and then you can go into content here, and then you can add things here. So we could add more content. These are all like this is all the data I've uploaded, and then you can see these are like the different bins that it's going into depending on what it is, and then depending on what the fields that they are. So if I wanted to add one there, I could just go add buildings, and then it would fill out all the things that I've decided that it needed. And those things that you decide that you want are on the structure page again. So if we go on contact types, and then if we were on to like um, student info, manage fields. So we have all these things. So this is kind of like what like each it branches off of each kind of like bin of like and like what do you want? So we have the course ID, what's the ID? And that's just like what the course ID that they're taking. So you can kind of like link them together. So like all of the course ID and for all of the course information can be linked together with this with the students. And you can have the student's email, student's name, student ID, basically like that. And you can have up each like what each type of field it is. So like what type of information you want. So for like student ID, we're taking numbers. And let's see if there's anything else here. So yeah, basically, then you can just go ahead and you can have these things selected to this, and then on your site before you like change anything, it'll just come up like this, where it's just like everything that you've entered is kind of just on each. All the data just gets added. Like it's basically just like a sheet, and it's just like organized. And then you can click on each one. So if you click on Math One, a class, it'll show you course ID, the description, and the subject of like each thing. So we looked at, I believe, students. So if we click on a student, Rob Reiner, we'll see his name here, the student ID, and his email, and like what course he's taking. So then we can see that there, and then just kind of says where it's been, who's put it up there. You can edit that, and you can change and delete it. That's basically just how you set up and add, how you set up the structures to add data, and then that's how you add the data to the page. So, and then the next video will show like how to kind of sort and organize the page and all the data into pages using views. So stick around for that. Well, don't just stick around. I'll link to that video on my channel in the descriptions. So check that out. Thank you for watching.